Hello class, let's talk about Hindu creation accounts of the Rigveda. So in this presentation, we will briefly review the Hindu creation accounts within the Rigveda, the most popular book within the Vedic corpus. Now, what is interesting about the creation accounts in the Rigveda is that they do not appear in Book 1, but rather they appear in Book 10. Unlike, let's say, the Bible, where the account of creation is literally in the beginning of the book. In other words, you would think that the creation accounts in the Rigveda would appear in Book 1, right? In the beginning, this is what happened. But instead, they appear in the 10th book of the Rigveda. Why? So again, just something just kind of interesting just to kind of think about, like, why do the creation accounts, occur so late, in the Rigveda? And in addition to this kind of interesting tidbit, unlike the Bible where there is clearly one creator and arguably one account of creation in 2 chapters, in the Rigveda there are several accounts of the creation of the world, all with different creators. Now, of the several creation accounts that appear in the Rigveda, 3 are the most well known. The myth of Purusha, the myth of the Divine Mother, and the myth of Tad Ekam. Now, according to the myth of Purusha, the entire universe was created from the sacrificed body of a cosmic giant man-god, Purusha. And as is stated in the myth, the man had 1,000 heads, 1,000 hands, and 1,000 feet. He pervaded the earth on all sides. It is the man who is all this, whatever has been and whatever is to be. From that sacrifice in which everything was offered, the melted fat was collected, and he made it into those beasts that live in the air. The moon was born from his mind, from his eye the sun was born, Indra and Agni came from his mouth, and from his vital breath the wind was formed. Now, not only were animals and heavenly phenomena created from Purusha, but also the 4 castes of human beings. As is written in the myth, his mouth became the Brahmin, his arms were made into the warriors, his thighs the people, and from his feet the servants were born. So in other words, according to the Hindu tradition, the caste system is of divine origin. It is not a human institution. It originates from the very dawn of time. Therefore, according to the myth of Purusha, this entire universe is of divine origin, deriving from the sacred body of this cosmic man-god. Now, for further information on the Purusha myth, please read The Creation of the Universe on page 2 of the scriptural reading for this week. Now, according to the myth of the Divine Mother, the universe was created from a mother goddess who spontaneously conceived and gave birth to the world. So as is stated in the myth, in the first age of the gods, existence was born from non-existence. After this, the quarters of the sky were born from her who crouched with legs spread. The earth was born from her who crouched with legs spread. So again, we have this myth of a kind of feminine being crouching with legs spread, giving birth to the universe. Now, for more information on the myth of the Divine Mother, please read The Origin of the Gods on page 2 of the scriptural reading for this week. And lastly, the third of our creation accounts is the myth of Tad Ekam. And Tad Ekam in Sanskrit means literally that one. And this is by far, for me, the most fascinating of the creation accounts in the Rigveda, because it's this deeply speculative poem about the mysteries of the origin of the universe, and it ultimately attributes creation to a single formless entity, Tad Ekam, or that one. So just to take a look from the text here, there was neither non-existence nor existence then. There was neither the realm of space nor the sky which is beyond. What stirred? Where? In whose protection? Was there water bottomlessly deep? There was neither death nor immortality then. There was no distinguishing sign of night nor of day. That one breathed, windless by its own impulse, Other than that, there was nothing beyond. Darkness was hidden by darkness in the beginning, with no distinguishing sign. All this was water. The life force that was covered with emptiness, that one arose through the power of heat. Desire came upon that one in the beginning. That was the first seed of mind. Poets seeking in their heart with wisdom found the bond of existence and non-existence. Now, for more on the myth of Tad Ekam, please read What is the Origin of the World on pages 4 to 5 in your scriptural reading for this week. So just a little taste of things to come. Okay, so we've reviewed these three creation accounts briefly. We also know that there are multiple other creation accounts in Book 10 of the Rigveda. So immediately some issues are raised. So all of these accounts are deeply provocative, but theologically speaking, which one of these gods, goddesses, or entities created the world? Right? Was it Tad Ekam? Was it Purusha? Was it the Divine Mother? Who was it? And what is the Hindu perspective on creation? I mean, how can we make sense of the existence of, multiple creation accounts? So more specifically, there are three issues for us to consider here. Again, who or what created the world? Was it Purusha, the Divine Mother, Tad Ekam? Who? Two, how should we interpret the existence of several creation accounts? That is, are these creation accounts related, or should they be treated as separate conflicting accounts? And if they do conflict, then again, how do we make sense of them? So again, just something for us to think about as we're reading these creation accounts.